All right, guys, it is Vince with Bradley Kia, also known as Kia Vince on my YouTube channel. And today I have a treat for you. I have a 2023 Kia Telluride S model in gravity gray with black interior. Now, this model here is the model that I would say that most people with mid-income would probably be interested in. It is one of the more affordable models with all of the features that come with it, which really make it stand out compared to its competitors. But again, we have a 2023 Kia Telluride S in gravity gray, and I'm going to show you what's new in 2023 with this model. So right away, coming from the front, you see the daytime running lights are now in a vertical fashion instead of that D-shaped daytime running light in the previous years. A lot of people like these lights here. I actually kind of like the older lights myself, but they are pretty striking, and you know there's a Kia Telluride behind you when you see these lights. This model sits on a 20-inch Kumho tire. Decent tire, kind of what Kia makes standard there. You have your front-facing grille, the tiger nose grille they still call it, with your, oh, my shadow's there, with your signature badging right there, big and bold on the front. You do have that gravity gray color kind of striking out there on the hood. Speaking of the hood, is there one thing that you notice that is missing from previous models? They no longer put Telluride across the hood of these vehicles, which I think is an interesting choice. But they no longer put Telluride across the hood of the Telluride, which is an interesting choice. Coming across here to the lights, to the mirror caps, you see the light on the back there, which is pretty cool. They blink in fashion, so at night you'll see that light go when you have your blinker on, which is, well, you won't see it, but other people will see it when you have that. One of my favorite features on any Kia, or any car for that matter, is the 2-press or 1-press keyless entry on the door. So you can have your keys in your pocket, keys in your purse, and as long as your keys are on you, all you do is approach the vehicle, and then you can lock and unlock by pressing that button there. 2 presses should unlock all 4 doors, and you can turn that feature off if you want. This model here, again, is the S model, so you do have roof rack rails up there on the top. This is not an X Pro, and one of the differences between an X Pro and just a regular all Kia trim level is the fact that you can see those roof rack rails are solid. On the X Pros, they are more aggressive looking, they are more sporty looking. So just want to point that out if you are cross shopping between any of the X Pro or the X line models. One of the features that some people don't tell you is the gas cap. There is a push and pop, so as long as the car is unlocked, it'll pop open. If the car is locked, it will not pop open, so kind of cool there. I've actually had a couple of customers, not mine, but a couple of customers show up and say that their gas cap is broken, and it's because they could not, because the car was locked. Coming along across the back, you do see Kia and Telluride in big bold lettering right there across and centered on the back of the vehicle, which is pretty cool. Kia has now moved to their all-wheel drive logos being 4x4 on Telluride, which I like. I like that one. One thing that they don't put on the back is the badging of the trim level. So unless you know that this is an S model, you don't know this is an S model. I mean, it could be an EX, it could be an LX. I mean, it's just a Kia Telluride. So I think that's what Kia was going for when they did that change, but they no longer put the actual trim level badging on the back of the car. All right, let's kind of get into the actual vehicle here. You do have your back windshield wiper there, back screen wiper, right underneath this little lip, which is kind of cool on their SUVs. The EV6 has it, Sportage has it, Sorento has it, Telluride has it. Kind of helps with the rain, and I'm sure aerodynamics are in there somewhere. You do have these really cool back lights now, which I really do like. You have your reflector and then your back lights in kind of this waterfall fashion. kind of mimics a little bit of the front lights on Palisade, but I do like that one. Okay, so let's get into the back. So Kia Telluride S model, you do not have an automatic liftgate, but you do have the little tail button here underneath the U. Just push and pop, and it opens right up. So you got plenty of room back there. Telluride still has the most room behind the third row in the up position than any other SUV on the market in its class. So in the new trim levels, the new model year, you do not sacrifice that at all. A full-size third row, which is really cool that a full-size adult can fit back here. I'm 5'9", 5'10", and I fit back here just fine. You do have USB ports right there on the wall. You have a little seatbelt hook there for your third row along the wall, and then you actually have a nice spacious window for your third row passengers to look out, which is kind of cool. And obviously it mirrors that on the second side. Child anchor locks across the back on your middle position and your left position, which is really cool. If you have little ones, you can do the child anchor locks and then make sure they're secure back there in their little seats. And then you also have that on the captain's chairs on the second row. There's one there, there's one there. So if you have little ones in car seats, you can do 4 car seats in this vehicle, probably 3 comfortably, but technically 4. And then you have your right hand third row seat does not have that, but it does have a little hook here for garments or bags, something there if you just want something hooked in securely. These third row seats are really easy to manipulate. All you do is pull the drawstring, give it a pull, you see the little headrest came down, and then it just falls forward. Super easy. Again, I'm going to show off the legroom in the third row, which is pretty spacious. Carpeted floor mats. Not all Kias come with carpeted floor mats. It just depends if your dealership ordered them with the vehicle or not, or if Kia just sent them a vehicle with floor mats or not. But not all Kias come with floor mats. Cubby space underneath. So this is pretty cool. Big spacious cubby space underneath, which a lot of people enjoy. I get a lot of compliments. A lot of people going, oh wow, that is a lot of space. And it is. Now if you have the sunshade accessory that kind of pulls back into this little hook here, and then it kind of plugs into that little plastic node over there. If you have that sunshade hook accessory, you can actually stow it underneath right there and then right there. So it uses tension, so you just pull that tension tight, and then you can pop it in there, and that way you can take it with you where you go. You don't have to leave it in your garage. But I do want to point out that you do have those tension bars on that accessory that do fit. They're designed to go underneath the cubby space. So not too shabby in the third row. Now, one thing I do want to point out, you do have a 12 volt right there on the wall on the left hand side. You also can drop those middle seats for the second row with those buttons there. So if I press this right button there, there's the right seat, pop it, and it goes down. So as you can see, it goes flat. I've had many people get air mattresses or just regular old mattresses, honestly, and kind of put it back here for animals or even sleeping in here for camping. It's pretty versatile, and it is flat all the way from here, all the way up there to the passenger seat, which is kind of cool. You do have a little gap, obviously, from the bucket seats, but not shabby at all. All right, so let's close it up. Super easy. You can do it one-handed. It just uses that center of gravity and it pulls it down more. I'm going to go into the second row here. Second row here, this is kind of where, you know, a lot of your kids are going to be spending a lot of time. Your back passengers, you do have just your standard window control right there, door handle. You have this nice, you know, just black finish across the back on this model because it's the black interior, which I like. I think simple is good. I really do enjoy simple. You do have your kind of get in handles up here, so it can help you in if you have mobility issues. And then you have your bucket seat. So I was talking earlier about the child anchor locks on the back. You do have the little metal hooks down here as well that your car seats plug into. And then you can see that notated here with the little design saying, hey, the car seat can go in there. Your little seatbelt guy, little receiver can go in, and then it can kind of come out a little bit. It can just have a little bit range of motion. That way it's not really too intruding. And then how do you get into the third row? Well, that's a very good question. You can press this button on top and the seat will slide forward. You can press the little button on the side right here and the seat again will slide forward. So it's actually pretty easy, pretty simple. Again, you just press this guy and she slides forward. Plenty of room to get in and out right here. Like I said, I'm a full-size adult and I can get back there. You have a little seatbelt hook here that kind of hooks into the wall, and then you have a little hand grip right here so you can kind of grip in there and get in. So I am going to do that again one-handedly. Close that. So I am now in the third row. Knees don't really touch. I got plenty of leg room right here, but again, that seat is not pushed all the way back. It can go back much further, and if it was back further, I would be like right here. So still comfortable. I mean, it's not, you know, if you're a full-size adult, you're not gonna be spending a lot of time back here, but if you're just going from place to place or like to the mall or restaurant with a bunch of people, I mean, this should be comfortable for, you know, like I said, I'm 5'10". This should be comfortable for anybody, you know, kind of like normal sized, average sized. You have these cool little armrests on your second rows as well, which do articulate so you can be at different ranges of motion and it can stay. Kind of cool. You have your climate up on the roof up there. That way your second row passengers can control the climate, and you can also lock the climate from the main screen up there in the driver's position. But your second row passengers can control their climate, and then you have these air vents up here as well in the roof. Now you do have the sensors here, so if it will detect if it'll remind you and detect that if there's people back here, and you can turn that off and on as well. But you do have your ultrasonic sensors right there on the roof as well. Kind of just an overlay look of what the cabin kind of looks like from the third row. So obviously I'm doing this video by myself, and how am I going to get out? Well, I can go down that little row and hop over, which is not going to be fun for me because I'm not little, or I can just press this button again and it just slides forward. Give a little push more, give you a lot of room to get out. You do have cup holders in the doors there of your second row as well. You have cup holders back here in your third rows as well. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 cup holders in the Telluride S model. You know, if you have a lot of drinks, you got a lot of people, definitely have all the cup holder space. You do have these hooks again to accommodate bags or purses, that kind of thing, and so you can cross reach. You know, the driver would put their bag there so they can reach, do a cross reach so that they're not fiddling with it and the bag's not in the way. Kind of cool. You do have a little bit of a bump there, so I mean, it's not flat. You do have a little bit of raise between the floor and your seated position, which kind of helps. You have that here a little bit in the third row as well, which, you know, kind of helps for room. All right, you got your little hand grippies here, so when you get out, or you know, your oh crap handles, so you can hold on to that, and then you have your garment hook right there, so you can you know, hang jackets, that kind of thing. And one thing I want to point out is this is a black interior vehicle, but you have a light colored headliner. Get a lot of questions on that. Why is the car black interior, but the headliner and the pillars, you know, half the pillars are not the same color? They are not on the S model. Okay, let's get out and let's go to where I will spend the most of my time, and that is the driver's position, because I'm typically the driver. So pretty easily got out of that one-handedly. Just want to demonstrate that. Your airbag curtains do come out of the seat, so you have that there on your passenger. You have it right there on your driver's side, so they do come out of the seats for a side impact. You also have them on your upper A-pillars as well. So I don't know if you can see a little airbag decal there. You could probably see one right there, but I can't get the angle right. There it is. So yeah, plenty of safety features, plenty of ways. Before I head up front, I'm going to show you again, like that's the position it was in when I was in the back seat. But there is a bar underneath right there, and that bar you can press then you can move it backwards and forwards, so you can have different leg space there for your second row passengers. You also have your map pockets. That's what they're called. I mean, I know most people don't have maps anymore, but you do have your map pockets in the back, along with a better view of the cup holders there for your second row, and then your USB-C ports there for your second row people. I purposely moved the headrest up, so you have a headrest that can go up and down, and there is a little button right there. You get a lot of questions on that. We got a little button right there. You could press it, headrest comes down to that height right there. All right, let's get into the driver's side. I have the keys in my pocket, and that's why it's beeping, because it'll let you know if there is the keys not detected in the vehicle. So that's what's going on right there. Let's just start from left to right. So on the left hand side, you have your child window locks controls. You have your one touch window controls for the vehicle. You have your lock and unlock, obviously, and then you have your mirror controls right there. So pretty cool, pretty easy, pretty standard. This guy does have automatic seats for the driver, so you do have your forward, backward, up and down and lumbar, which is pretty useful. You do not have, I repeat, you do not have any kind of memory seating. If you did, the buttons would be right here. So no memory seating on the S model. Sorry for the wind. I'm going to go ahead and show you right here again, left to right. You have your illumination controls for your center console up here. You can make it darker or brighter. I like it really bright. You have your downward hill assist, and then you have your traction control. Most people don't really use those every day, but those are where those controls are there. I'm going to skip right over to the climate because it is toasty in here. So you have dual climate control, which is really cool. So you can be in different climate positions, temperatures, and I do have it on sync. So what that means is if I move it up or down, it'll sync with the driver. And all you do is take sync off by pressing in. If it is highlighted amber or orange, that means it is on. So we're gonna take sync off, and then now I can be at a different temperature. So I'm gonna move that down to about 64 because it is hot in here. You could turn the whole thing off if you want by obviously pressing the off button. To turn it back on, I usually just hit one of these buttons here with your blower speeds. You know, make the blower speed less, make the blower speed more. You got your rear climate, your front your windshield, your AC, your rear windshield, your what do you call it? Rear glass, I guess. And then you have your circulated air. You have your directionals right here, which is kind of cool. So it's indicated by this little guy right there. Hope there's not a glare, too much of a glare. So obviously you could do feet and face, just feet, windshield and feet, face. I just like feet, so feet. Rear, take notice right here. If you click the rear, you will, oops, they moved it. That's cool. So it actually shows up on the big screen here when you hit rear. Let's see if I can get a better angle without glare. So you can control, like I was saying, you can lock the controls right there. That way nobody in the back can mess with them. You set it all. You have your climate here, and then you can go right here to front climate, and it takes you to your front climate. So in the older ones, in the older Tellurides, that would light up, and then you would see the little indicator right there. But that's kind of cool. They moved it up to the into the bigger screen. Now that I think about it, I bet they did that last year, because I remember that being a last year feature too. We'll get to that. So if you made it this far in the video, this would be a nice time to request to boop that like button if you like what you see. That would be really cool. Just boop the like button. I'm already past my goal of 1,000 subscribers, which was my goal for like the last year. And I've already gotten there, and I really love doing these videos, and I'm gonna keep doing them. So that will give you a notice saying that, hey, you got a new video coming up from me. Okay, let's go through the steering wheel. Answer a call or decline a call. Possibly. That little star button means that it is a programmable button. If you press it, I'm going to press that, you have a menu here that comes up. So you have none, the button doesn't do anything. Quiet mode, turn radio on or off, cancel routes, reroute, map, home, voice memo, privacy, change hands-free calling device, and reject end a call. Most people are going to do reject end a call just because that's what you would think would be there. Answer a call, end a call, right? But anything with a star on any Kia means it's a programmable button. You have your digital assistant right there, your voice assistant for the vehicle. You also have it for Siri or Bixby or whatever smartphone you use if you connect it. This car does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Mode is a kind of a cool button too. So mode will take you over here again, and that will give you your music controls, so you can do like check what you have. Like obviously most people have Bluetooth or phone projection, so that's your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can cycle through USB music or FM, and then Sounds of Nature, which is Kia's little like relaxation playlist that they have. So that's it's kind of interesting. Coming into the right hand side, you have your 2 pages button, which controls that page up there. So that will move you from left to right, and then you have your toggle switch below it that moves you up and down in the pages menu. So 2 pages button. You got your compass. You have your I actually keep this on my car. It tells you where your wheels or power is being distributed. That's actually the one I like. A lot of people like that guy because it's just simple. It'll tell you if there's people in your other lanes, like it'll beep at you, and you the little roads right here, the little lines will highlight. So a lot of people like that guy too. Auto stop timer. And again, I'm gonna leave it. Well, it's not my car. I'm gonna leave it right there. Really cool, excuse me. Really cool. You got the little speed limit indicator right there. If you're going the speed limit, it'll tell you that. It'll tell you the speed limit in your area, and then it will also tell you if you're going over the speed limit, because the little symbols in there will turn red. Your miles driven and your climate on the outside. This is the first video I've done in a while because it's been snowing and windy, and you just cannot do videos in the snow or the wind. Fuel, your speedometer, and then your little power distribution guy right there. You see this is on the purple theme, so those themes will change with your drive modes right here. So you have on drive mode comfort, sport, smart, eco, and snow. So right now it's in comfort, so it's purple, but if I take it down to, let's say, sport, it'll go red. And then just cycling through, there's what, that's blue. Nope, sorry, that's eco. There we go. It's like a greenish. So you can have that change with different drive modes. You can also lock your rear wheels as well. Again, by pressing this in, it'll highlight orange, and orange means it's on. So that'll lock your rear wheels if you're, got really bad weather, that kind of thing. You got your parking sensors. You have your auto hold and your auto off. Auto off is the feature where if it's good temperature, the engine's at the right temperature, the car will turn itself off at like a stoplight to preserve, save on gas. Then auto hold is quietly one of my favorite features. A lot of people don't realize what it is. So I'm gonna throw this car in drive and creep up just a bit. And then let's say I'm at a drive-through, or I'm picking up my kid from practice, or something happens and I want to take my feet off the pedals to relax a bit. Come to a stop, press auto hold, and then you press down on the brake, and you'll see in green right there, auto hold is on. So what that means is I can take my foot off the brake like I just did, kind of relax down there, and I am now waiting a million minutes for Taco Bell or something. So it's just a way to relax. And then when you're ready to go, all you do is put your foot on the gas. So there's my foot, there's the gas, put your foot on the gas, and then you just go. And then let's say you want to auto hold again because it's been one engine revolution, you just put your foot back on the brake, and then you'll see they turn to green again, and then you just take your foot off, and now you're back. Quietly, auto hold is one of my favorite features. I really do use it. If for any reason you don't like the touchscreen, this is a complete touchscreen. Little house will take you home, so this is kind of the little home menu, and you can slide it left and right. All the way to the left gives you like your time and your date and your radio information, and then you see the slight inlay here of your it's kind of a bad angle with the glare in this car, but you have the little map there, which you can press. It'll take you right to maps. So maps are pretty easy to navigate. If you press the little magnifying glass there, you can enter in your information. Unavailable while driving. Well, that's because I'm still in auto hold. I'm in drive. So put my foot on the brake, put her over to park, instantaneous. Goes right into that menu, so you can type in your addresses and get to where you need to go. Little arrow takes you back, little house takes you home. So I'm gonna go back a screen right there, and then you can manipulate, you know, the size of the map, voice navigation, and go right into the map menu for, you know, info and save points, that kind of thing. You'll see that the tri-level popped up here when I went into map. So this little white arrow right here, if you press it, it will collapse and then make that the big version. But you can see there's a little button there to make this the tri-screen, and that means you can manipulate it. I don't know why they give you the option 2 maps, but they do. But you can time, compass. When you hook your phone up to it, you can do your calendar and your weather, and then radio, and then there we are, back to maps. But you just have that little try button there. And then if you don't like the physical, the touch screen, you do have physical buttons down here also. You have map, navigation, radio, media, your hazards, seek tracks, and then your programmable button. It's a star, so you could press that and you can make this different things. You know, you can make it the Wi-Fi hotspot, the HD radio, display off, quiet mode, phone projection, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna let that be because I'm not gonna, you know, play with that too much. And then set up. You can spend an hour customizing this car to exactly how you want it. So this car is very customizable. Most people will probably do that under setup and then vehicle right away. But if I may entertain you for a second, go to user profile first. If you go to user profile first, you can set one of 2 drivers, and then you can set it up with a profile image, you know, make it different things. You can link your Kia account, and that's why I want you to go to this first, because if you link your Kia Connect account, then it would save some of your settings, so you're not like doing these settings over. I've actually done this. I went to setup and vehicle, and then you have all these little options here on the left that you can play with. Set it up the way I wanted, create my Kia, my little profile, and then I had to do it again. So it's kind of a pain in the butt there, and so just do that first. It just makes it easy. One thing I want to show you guys in convenience, I know this video is getting a little long, but you can turn off that rear occupancy alert. If you don't have little ones and you don't think you're going to leave anybody in the car, you could turn that off and on. You can also turn on and off the auto rear wiper, which I'm going to turn on. And if for any reason your wireless phone charger is not working, right there, wireless charging system, make sure that guy is on. And you can play around with other things. Look at 2-press unlock is off. These cars don't come standard with some of this stuff on. So you can turn that 2-press unlock on and off like I was talking about in the video. Climate, cluster, you could change your themes. You could turn off the welcome sound, which a lot of people do, including myself. So, hey, look at this. There's a sticky still on there. I'm gonna leave that, but that is probably part of the little glare there. Changing your time is super easy. You just press that button and it'll change your time. It'll take you right into the time settings. So definitely it's all touchable. So super easy, super quick. All right, quiet mode. Let's just talk about it real quick. I'm not gonna play it, but quiet mode is selected. All radio and media is played only in the front speakers, not in the back speakers, and your volume is set down to a lower level. So if you have people sleeping in the back or you just want it quiet, you can do that quiet mode, and then you can have that the way, you know, so it's only impacting the front 2 speakers and not your rear passengers. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in this car to cover in 30 minutes or less. Valet mode, navigation, it's all right here. Phone projection, that's where you'd set up your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but you do need a USB cable on these higher trim cars. Ironically, you do get wireless Apple CarPlay in like the Kia Forte and the lower trims, and the Kia Soul and the lower trims. So it's wireless Apple CarPlay is out there, but just not on the expensive stuff. If your salesperson did not do this with you, you have to go into Kia Connect, go to Kia Connect settings, and activate, well, you don't have to activate 911, but you have 911 Connect right there. That way, if you're in an accident, it will call 911 for you if your phone is paired. But more importantly, you want to activate your Kia Connect service. It is the app that you get free for the first year. You do remote control, locking and unlocking, remote climate, remote start, all that kind of stuff. Again, free for the first year, and your salesperson should be setting that up for you. One, because, you know, it's part of our job, we get a little something for it, but 2, it's cool. I mean, a lot of people like these features, and it would suck if you had this car for a year and then you didn't use those features, and it's just a better experience all around. So just in case you have a salesperson that doesn't do that with you, then that would be it. You do have your glove box there, which you can now lock in the 2023s, which is kind of cool. And I will show you guys the key here in a bit. Sunglass holder, which I think is pretty important because a lot of the Kias don't have this anymore. So you do have a sunglass holder there in the Kia Telluride, and you have your buttons for the Kia Connect, your emergency calls, and then you can change how you want these lights to come on and off. Did I cover everything? Probably not. Wireless phone charger, USB ports, 12 volt right there, and your heated seats are right here above these like oh crap handles. But you have those guys right there. And then I probably didn't show you guys the cup holders and the little coin pocket right there. So you definitely have a lot going on right here. I probably couldn't cover everything, but I do want to get this guy under 30 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, this again is the 3.8 liter V6 2023 Kia Telluride S model in gravity gray with black interior. And thanks for watching. These Kias are impressive, and I will see you guys down at the dealership.